But one more thing I'm about to share. There's an ancient calendar of scriptures called the parashas. Some of you know it. Every week in the synagogues, they read from the scroll one portion appointed from ages past for that day or that week. It turns out there's one particular scripture that's appointed for the week of Passover. And I didn't know this. I had to look this up. The Shabbat of Passover, which is very special because that's the day that Messiah was in the tomb. Messiah was in the tomb on the Sabbath of Passover. So do you know what that scripture was? He's in the tomb. You know what that scripture is? The scripture that matches up with the day he was in the tomb is Ezekiel 37, the resurrection of the dry bones. That tells you something. And that tells you something also, that the resurrection of Messiah is linked to the resurrection of Israel. Gotta be. A nation follows its king. So why did Israel resurrect? Because its king resurrected. They don't know it yet, but he did. I remember I was on one tour in Israel, and I'm standing on Masada, the ancient grave of Israel. That's where they met their last time. That's where it's all done. That's where the dry bones were. And I read the scripture of the dry bones, the valley of dry bones. And I speak of the resurrection, the power of God. And when I finished teaching, there was all sorts of cheers and applause beyond our group. And I looked, and it was Israeli children cheering this. Israeli youth. And I don't think they realized it, but they were the resurrection of the bones. And here they're cheering it without even realizing what they're cheering. The prophecy of the bones was not just a prophecy or a word for them, it was reality for them. They exist in resurrection. And so for you who are born again and you are spiritually a child of Israel, the resurrection, the power of the Spirit and resurrection is not just an idea, it's not just a doctrine, it's to be your life.
To find out how you can receive more of Jonathan's teachings, to receive special free gifts, or get in touch, go to hopeoftheworld.org or call toll-free 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's hopeoftheworld.org or call 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's 1-800-937-4821. You can also get more at Jonathan Cahn's Facebook page or write us direct at Hope of the World, Box 1111, Lodi, New Jersey 07644, USA.